Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Daily O. I'm Grayson Singleton. Coming up on today's show, Cowgirls soccer returned home for their conference home opener. Plus, we'll recap OSU's football win over Baylor with one of our own reporters. Plus, Aaron Judge tries to make history over the weekend. All right, everyone, let's get started today with a recap of Cowgirls soccer. The Cowgirls returned for their conference home opener at Neil Patterson Stadium Thursday night. The Texas Tech Red Raiders came to town looking to spoil the homecoming for the red-hot Cowgirls. Coming into the game with a 6-game winning streak and allowing less than a goal per game, Oklahoma State looked primed to win yet another one. But it was the Red Raiders who struck first on a goal by Elise Anderson in the first 5 minutes. The Cowgirls struck back in the 30th minute with a goal by Molly Briner to even the score at a goal apiece. Even though the Cowgirls outshot the Red Raiders 15-10, they didn't score in the second half, and the game ended in a tie. The Cowgirls now are going to Norman for a Bedlam matchup against the Oklahoma Sooners, who are 4th in the Big 12. That game will happen on Thursday night. Now let's highlight some of our pro pokes, or former Oklahoma State football players in the NFL. Leading the way is Detroit Lions linebacker Malcolm Rodriguez, the former Cowboy turned Hard Knocks specialist, or Hard Knocks favorite, is now tearing it up on the field. He had 11 tackles and a tackle for loss in the Lions' 48-45 loss to the Seattle Seahawks. Justice Hill, the running back for the Baltimore Ravens, had a pretty nice day as well. He helped Baltimore nearly defeat the Buffalo Bills. He had 8 carries for 45 yards. And Trey Flowers was the only former Cowboy to win a game on this list. Tallied a couple tackles for loss in the Bengals' win over the Miami Dolphins on Thursday night. All right, we're going to take a quick break, but do not go anywhere because Adam Engel, our own Ocala reporter, will join us to talk about Oklahoma State's big win against the Baylor Bears on Saturday. We'll be right back.
Over the years, we kind of realized that you can get ribs anywhere, you can get a steak anywhere, but you can't always get a Mountain View hot link like ours. So we really decided to focus on that niche and realized we had something really special. So that's when we started focusing more on the hot links, but it's still the same family recipe they were making all those years ago. For us, many of our people that work here have been with us for years and decades. So whereas machines kind of break down over time, the people just get better. And it shows in the products we produce. When you buy a Mountain View product, not only is it going to taste dynamite, but you're also feeding Oklahomans. You're helping employ Oklahomans, and you're helping to fund the state's economy. So what's better than that?
We use the very best of the best ingredients. Demerara sugar is the best that is. Very high quality fruits, berries. The milk we use is the best milk there is. That's what makes our product stand by itself. I like to make yogurt because I like to eat yogurt. We've been doing this for ourselves for many years because it's a tradition in our family. And we want to have a product which would be very similar to French yogurt, but with our touch of uniqueness, linking our name, our product, with the reputation of the Made in Oklahoma Coalition was probably the best thing we have done as far as promoting our product.
Welcome back to the Daily O. Grayson Singleton. Here joining me to talk about OSU's win over Baylor this weekend is our reporter Adam Engel. Adam, how are you doing today?
Well, Grayson, I'm doing well. How about yourself, man? It's good to see you.
It's good to see you as well. Oklahoma State took down Baylor 36-25. Adam made the trip to Waco. So, Adam, what were your initial impressions of this OSU football team this weekend?
Well, this OSU football team, week in, week out, like every week, they're really becoming the real deal, Grayson, in my opinion. I mean, sure, the non-conference schedule they played was not great. Let's be honest. Central Michigan, Arizona State, Arkansas, Pine Bluff, really not great. I mean, to be honest with you. So this was a real test, as you can see in Waco, full crowd, sold out crowd, wearing all gold. And OSU, I mean, offensively, they were pretty dominant. I mean, the defense kind of folded a little bit at times. There was a big run of momentum from Baylor that kept them in the game, but OSU kind of had this one in control. I was impressed with OSU, and with OU and Texas soon to be leaving the Big 12. I feel like Baylor versus Oklahoma State, because they play very similar styles, this could be the main matchup of the future in this conference.
I'm going to come back to that in a couple of seconds, but let's talk about the Cowboy quarterback, Spencer Sanders. Yeah. He completes just about 2/3 of his passes, rushes for a touchdown, throws for a touchdown as well, and it seemed like he finally got the monkey off of his back in terms of performing against Baylor.
No, absolutely, and that was one of the big storylines coming in. Grayson was, I think it was 7 interceptions in 2 games against Baylor last year. Mm-hmm. Only had 1, and I, if I'm not mistaken, I think that only turned into a field goal. But yeah, he looked really strong. And how often are there times, I mean, really, other than like a Air Force, like a service academy, does a quarterback lead the team in rushing? Well, hey, that's what Spencer Sanders did on Saturday. 75 yards and on about, I think, 10 more carries than what Dominic Richardson had, and he only had 73 yards. Yeah. So Spencer Sanders, I mean, he's an experienced quarterback, but that's what he looked like in Waco. He was composed, he was calm. He had it under control, man, and it was a fun performance from him.
Let's talk about that matchup with Baylor, because like you mentioned, Oklahoma, Texas, they're going to lead the Big 12 going to the SEC. Do you classify Oklahoma State and Baylor as a rivalry right now?
I don't know. I mean, in terms of recent performances, yes, but it's just funny because, I mean, Baylor is kind of an odd one out in general, in my opinion, I think, with the Big 12, right? They're a private Christian school, and honestly, when you think rivalries, I think that has a lot to do with what kind of school you are. You know, it's OU, Oklahoma, they're close, they're public schools. You know, Baylor is, Baylor hasn't been in that conversation, but yeah, I mean, now that you say that, I think we are starting to see maybe a legitimate rivalry between these two. Certainly, at least during Mike Gundy and Dave Aranda's era, because of how similar the teams play.
Let's talk about the new AP rankings that came out yesterday. Oklahoma State jumps up to 7. Alabama jumps up to number 1. What were your initial impressions of the polls rankings heading into this upcoming week?
Yeah, I mean, like we see in the graphic here, number 1, not surprised at all. I mean, it's Alabama. OSU, number 7, feel like that's pretty deserving. But what I obviously liked, because I'm always a big fan of the underdog, I really enjoyed seeing Kansas in there at 19. Yeah. The first time they're ranked since 2009. Way to go, Jayhawks, man. I mean, they're fun to watch right now. And then Kansas State's in there as well. I know some other teams kind of like I saw on some polls the writers voted like Tulane. I don't think they got fully ranked, but it's cool. Like I said, I'm a fan of the underdog, so it's cool to see all kind of smaller programs, non-traditional football powers get in there as well.
Last question. What's the ceiling, in Adam Engel's opinion, what is the ceiling for this OSU football team this year?
The ceiling? I mean, if you want me to be honest with you, I think the ceiling is a college football playoff appearance. I really do. Because obviously a lot can go wrong. And to be honest, in OSU history, that's exactly what happened. But this is a team right now, we're looking into week 6, where this is a good team that can win the Big 12 and be a major threat in the national landscape. Adam
Engel covers Oklahoma State football for us here at the O'Colly. Thank you, sir. When we come back, let's take a quick break. We'll get into some national headlines as well as Aaron Judge going for history, and I'll pick Monday Night Football tonight. This is the Daily O. We're going to be right back.
My name's Kayla. I've been here since the beginning, so 4 years. Scratch is more focused on farm and mostly made in Oklahoma products, keeping it local. Sustainability is our biggest thing. That's one of the reasons why this place opened.
I've been the chef here at Scratch for 2.5 years. Started here as a line cook. Our food and drinks are a bit separate entities almost inside the restaurant. So the food is now up to 85% of the products we bring in are raised or grown locally. It's all based off of things that I grew up eating in southern Oklahoma, the things my grandparents ate,
Fresh food, clean food, organic food, sustainability, that's all of our thing. From front of house to back of house, we're able to maintain both with freshness. But made in Oklahoma means we get it straight from the farms that are 20, 30 minutes, another little county away. We get it straight from them.
We would design something, it was set on the counter, and people was either, if enough of them said, you know, this isn't it, it never made to the line. Dad was excited that they're all original. They were all designed on Mom's kitchen table, and it gets in your blood after a while.
We're very happy that Pamela and Michael have taken over the business and kept the family going.
We took the business over in 2017. When we found that it was available, we wanted to keep the legacy of family alive, but it was also incredible products that deserved to be a part of Made in Oklahoma's story. We were a part of Made in Oklahoma years ago, and so it kind of grew as Made in Oklahoma grew.
Oklahoma is ingrained into everything that we did. We've been here most of our life. That's what we entailed our whole business on, was the Oklahoma homegrown feeling.
Welcome back to the Daily O. I'm Grayson Singleton. Let's look at some national headlines today in the world of sports. And we're going to start on the diamond. Aaron Judge failing to get to his 62nd home run, which would be the American League record. The Yankee star is stuck on 61 because, well, a lot of teams just keep walking him. We'll talk about that a little bit later and flesh that out in more detail. Albert Pujols hit his 702nd home run, tying Babe Ruth on the all-time list. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Tampa Bay Lightning each donated $3 million for Hurricane Ian relief to the state of Florida. All right, let's go to college football, where we have some big news regarding coaches getting fired. We talked about Scott Frost a couple weeks ago, but now let's go to Colorado, where the Buffaloes fired head coach Carl Durrell and defensive coordinator Chris Wilson. Wisconsin also joined into the fray when they fired head coach Paul Chryst following their loss to Illinois on Saturday. Durrell at Colorado was winless so far this season for the Buffaloes, highlighted by the beatdowns at the hands of Minnesota, Air Force, and most recently, Arizona. Colorado also allowed 40 points or more in all but one game this season, which is why defensive coordinator Chris Wilson was axed as well. Wisconsin's Paul Chryst was fired following a 2-3 start, with losses to Washington State and Illinois, both at home. Defensive coordinator and former New York Jets safety Jim Leonhard was named the interim head coach. Now, let's preview Monday Night Football, where the LA Rams are traveling to Levi Stadium for a showdown with the San Francisco 49ers. The Rams come into the game 2-1 on the heels of 2 straight wins against the Atlanta Falcons and the Arizona Cardinals following their loss to the Buffalo Bills on the NFL's opening night. The 49ers are 1-2 with losses to the Chicago Bears and my Denver Broncos. With both teams looking on pretty different trajectories, take the Rams, and I'm gonna take them as well. I'm gonna take them by a score of 27-20. Even though, get this, LA has had trouble with the 49ers in the regular season. They have lost 6 straight to Kyle Shanahan and San Francisco during the regular season, but beat them in last season's NFC Championship game. All right, let's take a break. But when we return, we will have some fun facts about this day in the world of sports history and some sports birthdays. So don't go anywhere. The Daily O will be right back.
Hi, I'm Amanda Akins. I'm the owner of Hurricane Dixie Leather. I started this company back in about 2015, and I think that one of the most unique things about our store is that we're not just your everyday mom and pop leather shop. We use a lot of color and unique techniques that set us apart from others. We are a full Wrangler retailer. We have lots of Wrangler jeans and shirts. We've also got some other fun boutique clothes, and everything, all the leather goods in the store are made here in the shop. We also accept custom orders.
Our state is one of the most beautiful and unique states in the USA. With diverse geographies, the historic Route 66, unforgettable restaurants, and some of the greatest people on the planet. With so much to see and so much to do, living in Oklahoma means one of the best vacation spots is right in our own backyard. Doesn't this story need to be told? As filmmakers and photographers based right here in Oklahoma, we thought so. And hey, who doesn't like a good road trip? So, we packed up our cameras, teamed up with Lieutenant Governor Matt Pinnell and the Oklahoma Tourism and Recreation Department, and that's how this series was born. We want to show you why traveling within the great state of Oklahoma is a great idea. So come join us for thousands of miles over the next year, from Broken Bow to Black Mesa. This is the Oklahoma Road Trip.
Welcome back to the Daily O. I'm Grayson Singleton. Time to turn back the clock on this day in sports history, and we're going to go back to 1974. NBA legend Jerry West, also known as Mr. Clutch, retired after 14 seasons with the Los Angeles Lakers. And that on this day in 1974. Let's go to 2001. Barry Bonds was walked for the 171st time, breaking Babe Ruth's all-time record set back in 1923. And lastly, let's go to 2021. On this day, just a year later, a year earlier than today, Tom Brady passed Drew Brees to become the NFL's all-time leader in passing yards with a win over his former team, the New England Patriots. Now, let's put on some sports birthdays today because we got some people to celebrate. Let's see, we got kicking off today's birthday celebration is golfer Fred Couples. Couples is turning 63 today and made his mark in the PGA as a Masters winner in 1992. Couples was also a two-time PGA Player of the Year. And our other big birthday today, international soccer star Zlatan Ibrahimovic. He has over 570 goals in his career, along with a World Cup championship and 15 Footballer of the Year awards. Now, before we end the show, let's leave you with a recap of our national headlines in the world of sports. And let's start with the New York Yankees and Aaron Judge. He ended the weekend without breaking Roger Maris's regular season home run record for an American League hitter. Judge walked 3 times over the course of Saturday and Sunday, and he also struck out 5 times over those 2 days as well. He'll have 4 more games to break the record as the Yankees traveled to Arlington, Texas to take on the Rangers all the way through Thursday. Albert Pujols hit another home run this season, bringing his career total to 702. By hitting that mark, Pujols tied Babe Ruth's career RBI total of 2,214. He can pass that mark with 3 regular season games left at the Pittsburgh Pirates. Lastly, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Tampa Bay Lightning of the NFL and NHL, respectively, are helping with Hurricane Ian relief funds. The Buccaneers and the Lightning owners have contributed $3 million each at this point to help Hurricane Ian recovery efforts in the state of Florida. On top of that, the NFL is auctioning off game-worn jerseys and other items from the for funds from the Kansas City Chiefs and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers game on Saturday night. All of those funds, of course, going to help out victims in the state of Florida. All right, that'll do it for today's show. Make sure you tune in tomorrow as Emma Lightfoot will have all of your Cowboys sports news on the Daily O. For the Daily O, I'm Grayson Singleton. Have a good night, everybody.
My name is James Remedi. Fired Up Stilly is the name of the business, and I'm one of the owners. We all 3 met, the 3 owners, working as employees at a similar place like this. What I hope for is for everybody to feel welcome, like family. Not only do I want students to feel welcome to come here and study and use our free Wi-Fi, but also I want adults and families to be able to come in. We've built a connection with a lot of people, and Stillwater's a big community, so we just want to invite everybody to be able to eventually make their way through our doors. Well, definitely the tees, I would say. Most people fall in love with them. They just got a great amount of energy, gets you going through your day, and it just kickstarts you to get, everything you need to done. For myself, it would just have to be, being the owner, owning something that, is able to impact other people's lives, and, the way we can affect our community is something that I really have always wanted to do. We love our clients and our customers that come through every day, and we enjoy getting to know them.
Hi, I'm Shauna here at Where the Buffalo Roam in beautiful downtown Pawnee, Oklahoma. We have a lot of beautiful and unique items for sale in the store, but our number one items are Navajo jewelry, Pendleton blankets, and Consuela. It's a great place to shop, a beautiful downtown, so come see us in Pawnee, Oklahoma.